Now, friend, I have a rhetorical question for you. Well, maybe it's not rhetorical. When your house is burning down, who do you want saving you? The person freaking out or the person who can manage their emotions? Now, here's the truth: getting feedback on your music in our industry may feel like getting punched in the face. It really does. Even world class film composers, after decades of doing this professionally, even they get shaken when the film director doesn't like their work. And that feeling never truly goes away, but you can learn to manage it. Conversation you're about to hear with one of my former students who is now full time in the business is about how to handle rejection without letting it destroy your psychology, your emotions, and your music career, and how to take feedback, difficult feedback, like a pro without letting it crush your soul. If at any point in this conversation you realize that you actually resonate deeply with what you're hearing and you want to learn more about how to actually survive in this business, not just the music skills, but also the emotional management that separates amateurs from the pros, I want you to consider grabbing our starter pack. Think of it as a proper introduction to our business. It's a workshop that shows you exactly how our business works, what you need to do to break in. And because I'm feeling generous, I'm going to throw in another 2-hour workshop with one of my best students who recently quit their day job to break full time into this business. And he lays out exactly how he did it step by step. It will cost you less than lunch money. And you can think of it as having lunch with two industry pros who are going to reveal their secrets and tell you exactly what you need to do to break into the business. The link is below. Now, let me tell you why your craft is not your art. What?
I think for every artist to some degree, having someone not like your work is like getting punched in the face. Especially, I think it really depends on how much personal attachment you put to what you're sharing, and how much experience you have with receiving feedback. In the commercial world, I think it's best practice is to distance yourself as much as possible from the work you're creating before you share it. But I think for musicians who don't have experience in the industry, like, their first reel of stuff, it's just stuff that they love. Like, they don't have real work for commercials they've done. It's just like, "This is me," and to hear no or to hear nothing, it is like, the ultimate form of rejection for an artist. What do you suggest for people who are afraid of that?
Well, the thing to understand is that will never leave you. This feeling potentially that in some people it is almost a pathology, and in some others it's something that you'll learn to manage. Um, but I mean, when I read biographies of film composers, who got to the highest level of the game, the sensitivity around their work and being just like shocked when the film director doesn't like what they did, when they literally put their heart and soul in it and thought as craftspeople that this is the best possible solution, is severe, even to world class maestros. And so just remember that thing will never leave. But what I always suggest in every life situation where things get hectic or emotional upheaval happens is, number one, emotions are never going to be the thing that helps you to think clearly or provide the best answer. And if you doubt that, just ask yourself, who would you want to be saved by when your house is burning? The person freaking out or the person who's able to manage their emotions? So, under tight deadlines, where there's high pressure, high expectations, there's a lot of stuff happening. Your music for the first time, second time, third time, there's a lot of emotion. Just remember that part of the game and the practice of you as a craftsperson will be to learn how to manage your emotions, the fear, the nervousness, all of that. So just remember that it's possible and that it's a part of the game. In other words, it's not just something that happens to us, it's something that we have to learn to manage. It's going to happen. Um, there's a few tactics specifically that you can deal with. The number one tactic is always to, number one, I don't mean like it's the most effective. I just mean like there's a bunch of them. So choose the one, use them all. Number one is to continually remind yourself that this is not your art. This is not my art. Because I think art is something that is understandably connected to your soul, to you as a person, your art. So just keep repeating, this is not my art. This is not my art because it's not your art. Your art is something that you do that matters. Here, you're making music for a commercial for some multi-billion-dollar company who doesn't give a shit about anything. Why would you invest
Mm.
more than your time and your talent into that? Don't invest your soul unless it's soul-giving work. Maybe you're composing something for some, I don't know, foundation or some charity or maybe even a business that you love. Okay. But the point is, this is not my art. So don't make it more than your art emotionally and whatever. Secondly, remind yourself that emotions are not going to get you to the best outcome. They're not going to help you escape the burning house. So you got to stay calm and you got to stay objective and you just got to stay focused on your client because they're the one paying you. And so the best possible happy ending that's going to happen is you're like your client being happy. So this is not about you. And the moment you start making it about you is the moment you start losing in every single possible way. Because the client starts sensing it, your answers are going to be wrong because they're going to be what you think should work. When the client is always right. I know that sounds weird, but the client is always right. Like literally, because they can be. So even when they're wrong, they're right. That's what I mean. Like even if your guitar is not too loud and everybody will say it, if the client says it's too loud, they're right because they're paying the check. And so we're actually wrong when we go against them. So you just got to remind yourself that, okay, my only job here, because this is not my art and my emotions are not going to help, is just to ask the client, hey, okay, interesting. Like, stay curious, interesting. What is it that you find underwhelming about the track? Because that's the worst kind of feedback. I just get furious when I hear this. Well, it's underwhelming. Underwhelming. Okay. What the, you know? I put on a timer. That's another tactic, by the way. Put on a timer for like 2, 3 minutes and just allow punching bag. Maybe you have a punching bag. Maybe, I don't know, do 100 push ups. Maybe you need to go for a sprint. Maybe choke something, not someone, something. Take a pillow, beat it up. And then after that, start getting real objective, like a cool cucumber, captain, like, okay, what do you mean by underwhelming? That's a fair question. Fair enough. I want to understand. What do you mean by underwhelming? Like, let's get to can you show me 3 examples? Like, give me the part that feels most underwhelming. And then what is it? Is it the energy, intensity? Is it that it's emotionally flat? Right? You see how now we're not speaking emotionally? We're like, underwhelming. How dare they? How dare they? Right? But instead, you're basically like an engineer. You're going, you said this. I want you to qualify it now. Qualify it like volume, emotional, harmonic structure. What is underwhelming? Loudness. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. And that's the next thing to remind yourself, by the way. Um, And I just realized that I'm going to be speaking from a different perspective because when I'm submitting work to a creative director who's not necessarily a musician, meaning that sometimes they say outrageous stuff. Like to music people, it's just outrageous because they literally misidentify instruments. They'll be like, the saxophone is too loud. And you're like, there's no saxophone in there. You see? So it gets like real tricky. But it's very likely that people watching this are gonna be freelance musicians dealing with a music producer who is more musically uh, proficient. So at least they can tell you, like, okay, this is exactly what we need to do. But still, it might hurt because some of these music producers, and I know this from firsthand because Stian, another mentor in our academy, another musician who's doing really well in this industry. He told me that he literally, like, maybe I shouldn't say this on this call because I don't know if he wanted, because he told me in a private conversation, but I think he talked about this on the call too with students. He was shaken because he just never had that sort of pressure and then direct feedback on something that he did, you know? Like as an artist, he just releases music and some people like it, some don't. But here's like someone who's waiting on you to deliver music by a certain time. There's thousands of dollars on the line. And they're like, I don't like what you did. You know, this is not the answer. This is not going to work. And here you are thinking, holy shit, I literally thought this was the answer. Because that's what you
Mhm.
think. You don't put the link together with your delivery thinking, "Nah, this, you know, this is no good." Don't ever do that, by the way, because there when you get big as a composer, sometimes people call in their gigs. It's no good, not a good look. But, like, you never th most people who are starting out, they don't do that, right? They don't send links that they don't think work. So, it is a shock sometimes when you get that answer. So, again, to recap, this is not my art. Emotions are not gonna get me out of a burning building. Cold, cool cucumber asking objective questions like an engineer. Ask the other person to give you examples to qualify. And if you need to choke something or beat something up, make sure it's something and not someone. Set a timer for a minute and go to town.
Love it.